There's too many features. I should have not had this many features. No one says that. Hello, Galaxy. I'm Chris Pirillo, and like many of you, I am going to be pre-ordering an iPhone 15 as soon as I can. I'm looking forward to going from my iPhone 14 Pro Max to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, but it's a different feeling than it was when I was going from the first iPhone, which, by the way, is the best iPhone. I know you're going to hear a lot of people say, well, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is the latest and greatest. No, it's the latest. The greatest iPhone was the first one because it hooked the world. And it pulled me in, even though I wasn't wanting to be pulled in. I was hooked when I held an iPhone begrudgingly and swiped to go between one city's forecast to the next. It was the weather app. One swipe, I knew that was it. And I can't say that I've had every single iPhone since the first iPhone either. Unfortunately, I kind of fell away from iOS not long after iOS 7. I skipped several iPhone generations, actually. So most of the features in the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be lost on me. I find myself wanting to know, that's my curiosity, how well it's working at a high level, and always trying it to see if I could find my way back to the iPhone. But the thing that holds me back isn't the iPhone, it's iOS. I find it rather dated. I can't use the latest hardware if the software can't keep up. So even in seeing speed gains and bragging about the fastest processor on the planet, at least as far as a mobile phone is concerned, hey, I'll give them props for that. That's great. Push the envelope, for sure, especially for CPU and GPU intensive tasks. Let me explain that for those who don't understand, because there are those who drive themselves on speeds and feeds and specs, and I don't. Because you can go to a marketing sheet, or quite honestly, the average tech YouTuber, and get marketing spec sheet regurgitation. That's not me. You could have a lackluster piece of hardware, something that isn't pushing the envelope as far as, the latest cutting edge technologies, but it has a fantastic software experience and it's a better product than if you had the fastest device on the planet, but the software was just so poor, you couldn't enjoy it. So software can quickly stunt the hardware. And that is what made the first iPhone the greatest iPhone ever. And it will continue to be, in my mind, the greatest iPhone ever produced, because the hardware wasn't great, but the software blew us away. I'm always looking for a quality software experience, a fluid software experience, and iOS, unfortunately, has not delivered for me. But I am upgrading to the latest iPhone despite not looking forward to the things that most of you are looking forward to. I don't even know what most of you are looking forward to. You gotta tell me, what's the one thing that drives you? I am looking forward to the new iPhone to try to use as a continuity camera connected to my computer, but I know so many of you are looking for other features, looking forward to other boosts. Another thing that I noticed is the array of colors that Apple's offering, at least with the Pro Max and the Pro Series. They're all monochromatic, which I'm a fan of. The A17 Pro chip, I'd imagine, is going to push through every task that's thrown at it, but I don't think I'm going to see it. Are you thinking that the A17 Pro chip is going to change your iPhone experience? Do you really think that? The cameras, I really can't wait to dive in and test. Beyond using the continuity camera in my day-to-day, their HDR has been, what's the best word to use? Scattershot? Sometimes it fires, sometimes it doesn't, and when it does, it's really, really bad. With their Smart HDR5 in the new iPhone Pros, the iPhone 15 Pros, I'm hoping that the new version, Smart HDR5, may very well fix the problems that I saw in the photos that I took with the iPhone 13 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The action button will be interesting to see in action. I will be remapping that directly to the camera. If you've never used an Android device before, the beautiful thing is that's a feature that's been baked into many of the flagship devices going back, I want to say almost a decade. You double tap the power button and it launches the camera. Now you'd be able to press the action button and map it to the camera. And when you do that, it's a game changer. Another thing that most people don't know, and I don't blame them because Apple doesn't really tout this fact, but apparently the Pro models of the iPhone 15 will have 8 gigs of RAM rather than the standard, or at least now standard, 6 gigs of RAM. Whether or not that will make a difference day to day remains to be seen. But at least as far as the Pro models are concerned, you're getting more RAM, so theoretically better memory management. Apps wouldn't necessarily close out as quickly. I appreciate knowing that with the Pro models, I could plug the phone directly into an external drive or an external computer and dump directly to that. That is, in my humble opinion, amazing. And at least for the people that use the iPhone for photo shoots, that has got to be amazing. Thanks again to USB-C, and at least as far as the Pro models are concerned, USB 3.0, which has a higher transfer rate. So I can see why Apple went that direction with the Pro models and also left USB 3.0 out of non-Pro models, because most non-pros are not pro. But then again, I'm not pro. Battery life is not necessarily something that has been a bother for me in my day-to-day activities for any smartphone for a number of years. I don't know what you want most in your iPhone. I don't know why you're skipping the iPhone 15. I don't know unless you tell me. I know many of you are probably running the iOS 17 betas, and they're almost out for the world to use. I have not used iOS 17. I've only seen screenshots. I'll talk about that on another day, the things I'm looking forward to in iOS 17, certainly. I know that for me, the software experience is everything. I am looking forward to trying iOS 17, knowing full well it's probably not going to feel that much different from iOS 16, but I'm hopeful. I am hopeful that the iPhone 15 Pro Max is the iPhone that gets me to walk away from Android as a daily driver. But, if you're not getting one, don't pee in somebody else's Cheerios, because that ain't right, okay? That's the thing. You choose the device that's right for you. I choose the device that's right for me. I love you. I think I've said enough for today. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I hope you appreciate this style. And if you do, give feedback. I appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. And may the force be with you always.